thought Nicole Kidman and Keith Urban seemed very solid, but I guess not.
19 years. That's how long Nicole Kidman and Keith Urban were Hollywood's golden couple, the perfect picture of love, loyalty, and longevity. He was the devoted husband who called her his savior. She was the Hollywood icon who stood by him through addiction, fame, and family life.
Ours is really weird. What was just revealed with Nicole.
But now, that fairy tale has cracked wide open. And according to explosive claims allegedly circulating across conservative media, that whole devoted husband story might not have been true at all. Because if Megyn Kelly's alleged comments are accurate, then Keith Urban wasn't the worshipful partner the world believed. He was the strategist, the opportunist, the man who for 19 years used Nicole Kidman to build himself into a global brand, and then walked away once he got what he needed. Nicole and Keith met in 2005. By 2006, they were married, one of Hollywood's most glamorous couples, the Oscar-winning actress and the country boy with the guitar and a heart full of love songs. The narrative wrote itself. She saved him from addiction. He adored her endlessly. They built a family. But according to the story now circulating, that image might have been a performance. Reports claim Megyn Kelly, the outspoken conservative commentator and former Fox News anchor, has allegedly questioned the real power dynamic in this marriage. She's built her career challenging mainstream narratives, especially those that come out of Hollywood. She doesn't buy into the polished red carpet version of events. So when she allegedly starts asking, who benefited from this marriage more, Nicole or Keith? People listen. Keith Urban wasn't the doting husband, he was the opportunist. He married Nicole Kidman, one of the biggest stars on the planet, and used her fame, her connections, and her Hollywood credibility to take his career from successful country singer to global celebrity. Let's be real, before 2006, Keith Urban was a big deal in country music circles, but outside of Nashville, not many people could pick him out of a lineup. Then he marries Nicole Kidman, and suddenly, everyone knows his name. Magazine covers, red carpet events, global exposure. His album started charting higher. Grammy nominations multiplied, and in 2012, boom, he's a judge on American Idol. A country singer, now on one of the biggest mainstream TV shows in the world. Coincidence? Or was Hollywood finally opening doors because he was Nicole Kidman's husband? Before Nicole, respected country musician. After Nicole, household name. During their marriage, he racked up Grammys, sold out tours, brand deals, primetime TV exposure. He was no longer just Keith Urban, country star. He became Keith Urban, international celebrity, walking hand in hand with Oscar royalty at the Oscars, the Golden Globes, Cannes, places where country artists don't usually go. Nicole Kidman's worth hundreds of millions. Keith Urban's tens of millions. She's one of the highest paid actresses on earth, $1 million episodes, major film contracts, her own production company. He's wealthy, sure, but nowhere near her league. And while they reportedly kept their finances separate through a prenup, Megyn's alleged analysis suggests Keith still benefited, just not on paper. He got to live in Nicole's world. The homes, the private jets, the red carpets, the access to the kind of people who can turn a country musician into a crossover star. He didn't have to bankroll it, he just had to be there as her husband. 4 months after they married, Keith checked into rehab. At the time, it was framed as a tragic but romantic story. Nicole stood by him, she helped him recover, she saved him. It made headlines everywhere. Nicole Kidman's love saves Keith Urban. But according to this alleged reframe, Megyn Kelly's interpretation sees it differently. She reportedly argues that this moment, the rehab, the rescue, the savior narrative actually locked Nicole into the marriage emotionally. Because when you save someone, it's hard to leave them. Once she'd pulled him from the brink, she wasn't just his wife, she was his lifeline. And every public speech Keith gave, thanking her every "she saved me" moment, just reinforced that emotional chain. Was it conscious manipulation or just circumstance? Who knows? But the alleged point is, it kept Nicole trapped in a dynamic where leaving would make her look like the villain who abandoned the man she saved. Keith Urban is one of the hardest touring artists in music, 200 days a year on the road every year. That means for most of those 19 years, he was gone. Nicole was at home in Nashville, raising their daughters, managing daily life, holding the family together. Keith would come home for breaks, for holidays, for photos, and then he'd disappear again. The theory suggests this wasn't just work ethic, it was strategy. By being gone, Keith got all the perks of marriage stability, image, family man branding without the day-to-day responsibility. He was free to live like a single man on tour, all while enjoying the public image of a perfect husband at home. And now in the divorce, the custody split allegedly reflects that reality. Nicole gets 306 days a year with the kids. Keith gets 59. Not a fight, not a struggle, just agreement. No spousal support, no drawn-out legal battle. Keith prepaid his child support in one lump sum and walked away free to tour, free to live his life exactly as before. No mess, no drama, no lingering obligations. To some, that looks responsible, mature even. But to others, it looks like the final piece of a long calculated exit. 2 daughters, 19 years of shared life. Maybe it wasn't using, maybe it was love, complicated, messy, imperfect love. Or maybe it was both love that started pure, but somewhere along the line became convenience. Maybe Keith really did adore her once, and then realized he'd outgrown the role. Maybe Nicole really believed she'd saved him, and didn't see she was also holding him up. Do we see Keith as the calculated climber who married up and walked away once he was done? Or do we see him as a man who loved his wife, built a life, and simply grew apart after 2 decades? The truth probably lies somewhere in the gray between ambition and affection, strategy and sincerity. But if Megyn Kelly's alleged claim is even half true, it forces us to rethink how we view celebrity marriages altogether. Because maybe the real illusion isn't that they loved each other, it's that love was ever enough to survive the machinery of fame. In the end, Keith Urban walks away with his career stronger than ever. Nicole Kidman walks away with her children, her dignity, and a story the world will keep rewriting. And we, the audience, are left asking the question that lingers after every Hollywood breakup. Was it ever real? I'm curious what you think. Was Keith Urban using Nicole Kidman all along, or are people twisting a broken marriage into a scandal? Drop your thoughts in the comments, because this one changes everything.